My name is Natalie Medeiros. I'm 31 years old. At 27, I was diagnosed with medullary thyroid cancer. I went and see my doctor one time, and I was just telling her how much anxiety I had and I wasn't functioning properly. And she told me, she's like, well, no one's gonna blame you. She's like, your type of cancer is like having a guillotine over your head and not knowing when it's gonna come down and kill you. But although it's such a cruel comment, it really is insensitive and cruel. It is the best visualization or illustration of what I feel.
My name is Deborah Bridgman, and I'm 51 years old, and I have stage 4 breast cancer. When I was first diagnosed, I was young. I was 30 years old. This is a whole new world. And 21 years ago, it wasn't as popular as it is now to be a young adult with cancer.
My name is Ari Tridimas. I'm 35 years old, and I've been diagnosed with brain cancer, astrocytoma. It's not easy to live with this type of anxiety. The uncertainty is a big dark cloud in my life, and in the people around me, of course.
My name is Samantha Wexler. I'm 40. My diagnosis is gastrointestinal stromal tumor, or otherwise known as GIST. And I happen to have a rare cancer in a rare location with a rare mutation. So I kind of feel like I'm one person in a room all by myself screaming.
My name is Daniel Opoku. I'm 38 years old right now, and my diagnosis is a pancreatic neuroendocrine tumor with liver metastases. With the type of surgery that I had, the long-term impact for me is that my diet is fairly restricted in terms of what I can eat and the timing of when I can eat it. Socially, cancer has been a bit of a challenge for me.
My name is Elizabeth Knox, and I'm 45, and my diagnosis was a breast cancer, stage 2B. It's since became metastatic, but is stable. Cancer was an opportunity for me to make changes in my life and really focus more on what I felt was important to me and what was meaningful, purposeful for me. There are two sides to this. You can feel beaten down and become depressed when you feel that your existence is threatened, though you're not sure when the shoe will drop. On the other hand, it can help you focus your attention more on doing what you believe in and doing things that have meaning.
Before, my husband and I had a business, and we did graphic design and photography. And neither of us were really very happy doing it, but because we had committed to having a business, we really wanted to make it work. But after, it was kind of like, well, neither of us are very happy doing this. And we kind of realized that anything can happen at any time without warning, really. So we decided to close our business, and I went back to school, something I had been talking about for 8 years that I wanted to do. So even though we're not working together, we're both happier independently.
My daughters, when I was first diagnosed, were 7 years old and 3 years old. Today they're 28 and 24, and I never knew back then that I would ever see them at this age. Every time as the years would go on, I was always, I hope I get to see them finish elementary school. And then it was like, I hope I get to see them finish high school. And then I hope I get to see them go to college. And now my wishes is I hope I get to see them married with children. I'm glad that I thought the way I did back then because I lived my life all those years. So I think my values have pretty much stayed the same, but I'm just a more determined, positive, stronger person for what I've gone through.
I definitely think what has contributed the most to me being who I am today is cancer. It definitely has been my biggest curse, but my greatest blessing also. With all the nastiness of cancer came all these great lessons of patience and humility and love and just a different perspective on people, on life, and on everything. And I think that that's helped me so much to grow. And those lessons are beautiful, and there's so many things about them that I don't want to change. And it's weird, but it's because of cancer. There's so many great things that came out of it. And it sounds weird to say that something positive came out of it, but a lot of positive did come out of it.
I mean, you're getting diagnosed with cancer, so that's the first thing that you need to, sort of cope with. And the second step for me was to get as much information as possible.
I'm the type of person that just dives into the deep end. I just, I want to know as much as possible for various reasons. So definitely I look for as much information as possible because I want to be confident that I've made the right decision, if for no other reason.
I think when I first got diagnosed with cancer, I was 24 hours nose in a book or researching something on the internet or trying to talk to someone and really understanding cancer as a whole. It's what I did for so long. I needed as much information as I could get. And now, the less I have, the better.
I trusted the doctors completely. I never went on the internet. I would discuss it with other people. I was always open about my cancer experience. And I always talked with other people. And that's pretty much how I found out about different treatments, different, ways of doing things, and there's so many different treatment plans that you could be on.
What I expect from the medical community is to give me scientific evidence and information to help me make informed decisions. I feel like my expectations are often not met. I feel like I have to be continuously advocating for myself.
You read a lot about how they do it, and it's so not that. They say like the whole medical team is there and they prepare you, and they don't do that. It's like a 10-minute thing. You have cancer, let's go.
I had a very unpleasant experience with the doctor who didn't quite even give me the diagnosis. I walk into the room and sit down and she's like, "Oh, why are you here today?" Which I found a very disturbing question to ask a patient who you're supposed to be actually telling has cancer.
My type of cancer is extremely sticky, so I was very adamant that I wanted to make sure that my doctors had experience with it, especially with someone at my age, and they said they did, and they didn't.
Before this, the only thing that I ever had was tonsillitis once, and I thought I broke my foot once. So I really didn't have any personal experience with the healthcare system. But I think overall that the care I've received has been wonderful.
I've been so lucky with all my healthcare providers. I've connected with every single one of them. I feel the more that I'm open and, I'm not a complainer, I don't bitch at them, I don't like it's your fault and can't you, I don't do that. I'm open, I talk with them, I discuss my treatment plan with them, and I feel like they are more respondent to me. I think they're making great decisions because if I look back, I'm still here 21 years later. I'm still here, and I really thank my doctor for that.
The interactions with the healthcare professionals was very challenging. It was very difficult at the beginning to get their full and undivided attention. You practically needed to block the door to their office to get them to get answers. That was the most energy-consuming activity throughout this whole process journey. I mean, you deal with the nausea, you deal with the treatments, you deal with the psychological effects, and all your life has changed because of this. But having to deal with that too makes it very hard.
The healthcare system has continuously proven itself to be very faulty, and I'm always having to make up for these problems. So I find, unfortunately, that if you don't advocate for yourself, there's a very good chance that you can die sooner. If you don't advocate for yourself, you're dead.
Originally, I didn't want to tell anybody, and I didn't want to be public about it. And then things started to go a little bit haywire medically, so I started to become a little bit more active in advocacy and talking about rare disease and how we need to have access to more drugs, because in Canada we only have 3 drugs which are approved for GIST, and it's not enough. So I kind of became a one-man band of tweeting and talking about how it's important to be aware that there are other types of cancer out there that need treatments and awareness.
Patients need to advocate. They need to prepare. They need to research. They need to prepare their questions fully, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get anywhere, in my opinion.
My preference for my cancer care is definitely to be 100% involved. I think at the beginning, when I first got diagnosed, I was scared. I didn't know everything. So I took a back seat to it, and I didn't feel well with that. And now I'm 100% involved. Like, this is my body, and if we're going to do anything, or if you're going to decide anything, it's because I'm okay with it. And it's completely empowered me. I think legacy is a huge question, or really important for me. I think right now it's actually a stressor for me, because the way I view it is I had the Natalie before cancer and now Natalie with cancer. And it's sort of like my life ended, or the life I had ended. And now it's sort of like I haven't been able to create a new life. I've just had cancer. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do, who I want to be, and not, hold on to this cancer as like I can't do anything with my life. I want to leave something behind and not be known as the girl who had cancer. I really want to be remembered for my caring, how much I care about people, and my compassion.
Before being diagnosed with cancer, I always had a thought that, I wanted to leave behind a footprint, a legacy, not just in terms of what I did, but leaving something behind. Literally, I've always been passionate about starting a small venture or business or something like that, just to leave something behind. Now, there has been a shift where, that's all of that is good as a legacy, but maybe I feel more that the interactions you have with people that I've bumped into, come across, interacted with, having them be able to say, like, I'm glad that we had that interaction. I'm glad that we had that time together, be it long or short. There was something there that left an imprint, left an impression, something like that. That's the type of legacy I'd like to leave behind.
The most important legacy for me is that my girls always remember me as never, ever giving up. Always being determined, and always wanting to be there for them, and just a very determined woman, and I want them to always remember that about their mom.
I've had to think about this, or I've chosen to think about this recently. I don't have children, and I won't be having any. And there's a loss there, because how do I live on? That's one way people do live on, is through their families. It's pretty significant. So when you don't have that, what do you have? And I've been starting to think, well, the most valuable thing I have to me to leave behind is my photographs. Whether other people will value them as much as I do is another matter, but it's important for me to be able to put my energy into creating things that are impactful and sharing with others.
I think the legacies that I wanted to leave behind post-cancer are completely different than they are today. Before, I guess I was more career-oriented. I wanted to move up the corporate ladder, work hard, make a good living. Now it's more short-term. Now I don't make long-term plans. I kind of stick to short-term plans. And the legacy has changed. Now I want to help people. I want to advocate. I want to inform. I want to help whoever has a similar diagnosis as me get through this. And I want to just live my life. My friends are a very good support system. My family, of course, and also Hope and Cope with the Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada, where our great is a great support system to go through all this this journey.
It is really hard to be young and to have cancer. It's hard to have cancer, period, but when you're young, it's even harder, I would think. And I mean, being around other people your age that have the same struggles as you do, physically or mentally, is really, really cathartic. What's nice about Hope and Cope is that there's just a bond there. Like, I don't need to tell anybody what my cancer story is. It's sort of like they know it.
Cancer introduced me to a community of people that maybe I wouldn't have connected with before, and that's been something that definitely has had a really positive impact on me. From day one, the conversations I was able to have that I just wasn't able to have over the 2 years prior were right from day one. You could talk about things because there's an instant click, an instant understanding, an instant empathy. And it's during the bad times and the good times. And that's something I really have to emphasize, because the support during the bad times, it's amazing. It really helps you out to be able to get through. But the support during the good times, I mean, when you have a good scan, or when you're able to go, escape it for a bit and go on vacation somewhere, or this or that happens in your life, the support that you see from the community is really amazing.
I started seeking out peer support in the cancer community, and have been blessed with an amazingly supportive and compassionate, life-changing community. I'm in this incredibly compassionate and caring, supportive community, which was missing in my life. So this was very empowering. Empowering on a kind of practical level, because you're able to share information with your peers, talk about the main issues that you're dealing with, and then there's the emotional, psychological support also.
So many people have said to me over the years, how do you get through all this? And I say, you know what? I get through this by all you people. You guys give me the support, the backbone, the strength to go forward, to carry on. I think it's very empowering to connect with people and hear their stories, share your story. And I know that as the years go on, and I still meet a lot of young adults, as the years go by, they look at me as being very inspiring, and that's very empowering for me.
Oh, reaching out has definitely helped me in so many ways. Since I was a child, always wanted to be self-sufficient, and it was like not accepting help from anybody. And cancer has forced me to, in a way, accept help from people, whether I wanted it or not sometimes. And that's a very big lesson, because it comes with really nice rewards at the end. I've really enjoyed the fact that here I have people who truly love me. And even at my low point, they love me. And they've been there for me. And that's really been empowering. And it's also been very soothing for me.
That's where I found peace with what is going on, and I met a lot of amazing people in that group. They're strong, they're positive, we help each other, and that's the type of support that we all should have as cancer patients.
I find it crazy almost how we don't know about this. Like it really is a hidden secret. And I really think that the healthcare professionals need to be aware of this and tell us, because it's something that needs to be told to everyone and advertised, because we need each other. Like, we really need each other.